The UK government has made one of the most significant changes that could have an impact on those that have dual national. If you know anyone that holds dual national, kindly ensure that they see this video because they may be refused entry back to the UK because of these changes that the government has just announced. We're going to break everything down. Sit back as we explain how this is going to affect, because millions of people, especially immigrants, they live abroad, they hold a British passport. In the past, when they are flying back to the UK, the process used to be very, very straightforward, no issue. But things have changed, and you'll be shocked when you find out the changes that the government just announced. How does this affect you? Because millions of people, especially people from migrant community, could be affected. This change could lead to big destruction, or you may be refused to fly back to the UK. Traveling is now stricter and digital first. Preparation now decides who can fly. This is huge because a lot of people are not even aware of this change, because the government said these changes is in line with their policy of introducing ESTA. But British national, they don't need ESTA, but this is what they need to be aware of. The government said airlines have been given more powers. Airlines are now very, very important. In the past, before these changes that is set to kick in on the 25th, this is how things were before. So, dual national can enter the UK on a foreign passport, assuming you have Nigeria and British passport, or Ghana or any other country. You're returning back to the UK. You've lost your foreign passport, but you have UK, you have Nigerian passport that maybe had indefinite leave to remain or some form of resident in your old Nigerian passport. You've lost your British passport. In the past, you can easily return back to the UK, but not anymore. With this one, in the past, border officers, once you arrive in the country, even if you do not hold a British passport, border officers can find a way to verify you, and if they are satisfied that you're a British citizen, even if you do not have a British passport with you, they will allow you enter. That is how it was before. Before, expired British passport or a certificate were accepted. You have, assuming you're a nationalized Brit, you're returning back, you have your certificate. In the past, they will allow you in with that. But now, things have changed, and it is huge. Now, the government said they introduced ESTA because they want to go digital. They want everybody to go digital. Because of that, they said these changes that they've made, the government solution is for those that hold dual national. They said you must come to the country with British passport. Entry must be either on a British or Irish passport. That is what the government is saying. Or a certificate of entitlement. I will explain what a certificate of entitlement is shortly, because this is something that is new. And also the government is saying that there is no exemption to this rule. These changes that they are making now it's going to kick in on the 25th of February. The Home Office enforcement will begin. The old flexibility that you used to be able to come to the UK with your Ghanaian, Nigeria, or Zimbabwe, or any other country's passport, with your certificate, nationalization certificate, that won't work. They've given airline powers. The airline must be satisfied that you have the right document, even if you are British. If they are not satisfied, you will be refused to come into the country. Airline has more power. If British status isn't proven, no flying for you, according to the airline, will face fine if they make any mistake, or they say, oh, the guy is a sweet talker, we allowed him because he's talk with a British accent, we believe he's British. They will be fine. Your journey can end even before it starts with these changes that they made. Now, who is most at risk? Dual national, like you and me and others. Most at risk, those born abroad to parents who are British, assuming You travel to America or Canada, your wife had a baby there, and you're bringing that baby back, automatically you are British. If that baby is British because the father or the mother is British. So when they are returning back to the UK, they can, in the past, child comes in, they have proof of ID for the child will be allowed into the country as long as the parent can prove that they are the parent of that child, and the child automatically is British, doesn't need British passport to come in. With these changes, it's not going to work. People unaware that they are registered as British will be affected by this change at the government. Families traveling during emergency will be affected by these changes as well. Now the government has introduced a cost, and this cost for those that will need, say for instance, you went to Nigeria or Ghana or one of the countries, you've lost your British passport, you want to return back to the UK, your home, and you do not have your British passport, you will need to pay certificate of entitlement. That is the certificate that you will need. It is similar to what they used to call the right of abode. Or you will need an emergency travel document, which will cost you £125, and the cost of the certificate of entitlement is £589. That is what you will need. Coming home now has a price tag, and if you can't pay, don't come back to the UK. Now, traveling on a British and Irish passport is one of the ways you can afford this. And also, you will need to have your certificate of entitlement if you have lost your passport. The government says this is all in line with their policy to go digital, that everybody has to do this because this is what they have to do to make it easier for the people to be able to travel. But at the same time, you have to do this if you have British passport that has expired abroad. Now, we know that with this change that the government have introduced, people from our community, especially the elderly, senior citizens, children, and some people that have some form of health challenges or disability, they are likely to be more affected because the implication means that there's stricter entry rules and also high risk of being denied boarding, loss of easy boarding access, and more planning before traveling. We know that what happens next if you ignore this, it means that you may be refused entry when you're boarding, you lose e-gate because you will not be classed as British, extra questioning at the border, you may even miss event worth or any emergency reasons why you're coming. The impact on migrants of these changes. Number one, extra cost for document, travel stress and uncertainty from people from our community, work and family disruption as well could happen. Greater anxiety for vulnerable group. As I said before, this is why this is something that we all need to be aware of. Now, what does dual national need to do? Make sure you check that you have a valid British passport. It's very, very important. Register your citizenship if you're born abroad or your children are born abroad. Renew your document early, and do not assume that the old rules still apply because things have changed. The takeaway from this is that if you are coming to the UK, you have a British passport that is expired, you have to make sure that you get emergency travel certificate or you pay for the certificate, or else you will not be able to return back to the country even if you're British and your passport has expired. Let you share this update with anyone that you know will benefit. And what is your view? Are you in support of this move, or this is another way to get money from people that are already struggling? Let me know what your views are in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you soon. God bless.